Good morning, Junior Ranger Cub Explorers. Thank you all for being here. Let's see, we have almost 100 people watching this program right now. How exciting. I'm gonna wait till we get to 100. There we go. Wow, I'm in the triple digits. This is so exciting. Thank you all for coming today to Calaveras Big Tree State Park. My name is Jenny, and I work for California State Parks here in one of our 280 state parks we have here in California. Now, Calaveras Big Trees is a very special park. It is known and most famous for the biggest trees on Earth, the giant sequoia. But today is a very special day. We are going to be learning about the biggest animal that we have here at the park. And that biggest animal is the black bear. So I hope you all came very curious, very excited to learn with me today. You don't need any ingredients for this adventure except your curiosity and your sense of wonder. If you feel inspired to draw things, you can. You can grab some pencils or paper and draw some things, but you don't have to. So today is a very, very exciting day for me because I normally talk about trees all the time. Today I get to talk about one of my favorite animals, the black bear. Now, black bears are the only bear we have here in California. We used to have grizzlies. In fact, the grizzly bear is right here on my patch. Right there. The grizzly bear you might also recognize from our state flag. But only black bears here are in California. So they're going to be the focus of our little adventure today. Now, black bears aren't always black. They can be cinnamon colored. They can be blonde. They can be white even. But normally they're black. So what our plan is today, we're going to spend about 30 minutes or so. And we're going to go on a little bear hunt to try to find their clues. After that, we're going to learn a little bit more about the bear's 5 senses. And then we're going to read a story together and learn about bear safety. So that's our plan today. Now, I know you all are really busy. It's summer. So if you can't stay for the whole 30 minutes, make sure you're filling out the survey at the end. It pops up in your internet. So you can get your rewards for learning with me today. You get credits towards prizes. So Junior Ranger Cubs, let's get started. First, though, I have to say hello to very special people that I know are watching right now. The people that are the most favorite people of mine in the whole wide world. Mom, I love you. Claire Bear, Isabel, I know you can't talk to me right now, but you can call me later. My nieces and my mom are watching. I love you all. I miss you. So let's get started. So black bears, believe it or not, I hardly get to see them. Even though we have over 80 different species of animals here at Calaveras Big Tree State Park in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, I hardly ever see any animals. The animals I see the most are birds and squirrels. Because we're a really popular park. Now, hopefully no one will walk by my little adventure today, but normally there's a lot of people here. And when there's a lot of people, our animals get a little shy. So sometimes you have to look for their clues instead. So Junior Ranger Cub Explorers, let's think about clues now. What are some clues that we know an animal has been here? What are some animal clues? Now, I can't hear or see you, but what you can do is share with whoever's watching this program with you, or think it in your mind, or say it out loud. Animal clues. And maybe there's clues that insects leave behind too. What do y'all think? And I see a lot of you are finding that raise hand feature. That's great. We're going to use that feature here in a little bit, but you don't have to raise any hands right now, but you can later when I ask you a question that needs a hand raise, okay? In fact, let's try it out right now. Let's try out this raise hand button. Everybody lower your hand. Lower your hands real quick. Lower them, lower them, lower the hands. There we go. Now raise your hand for me if you can think of an animal clue. Wow, a lot of you can think of your own clues. Very cool. Well, I walk through clues all the time. The moment I leave my house in the morning and the moment I get here to Calaveras Big Trees, I walk through a clue. This clue is left behind by a spider. Spider webs are a clue, aren't they? They're kind of sticky, a little tickly. So spiders leave behind clues all the time. A clue I found here just on my way out is this right here. Look at this clue. A feather. Ooh, I wonder what left behind this feather. It's nice and black. Maybe it was a raven or a crow. Another clue I see here all the time is this. Check out this clue. A hungry squirrel ate this pine cone. And squirrels are messy eaters, so they leave behind their food scraps all the time. They eat these pine cones like they're corn on the cob. So there's a lot of clues the animals let us know that they've been here. Were any of the clues I just showed you the clues you were thinking? Yeah, sometimes we only know the clues of animals. We don't always get to see them, but the clues make us wonder, don't they? They make you wonder what animal did that, right? So sometimes clues, we need to use our 5 senses to discover animal clues, right? Now we just use our sense of sight mostly, but what's a stinky animal that might leave behind a clue for us? This animal lives in the forest. It's black and white. What could this be? Are you thinking of a skunk? Me too. Now skunks, even though they're not even in the area, sometimes you can still smell them, right? So that's our sense of smell. So mostly to discover animal clues, we're using our sense of sight. Sometimes though we have to use our sense of hearing too. Birds, we have a lot of birds here. Sometimes you hear them. You don't always get to see them. So let's go on a mission to find some bear clues because they like to leave behind clues too. In fact, it's hard to see a bear sometimes. So let's go on a mission and try to find their clues. Are y'all ready? So let's think, what are some clues that a bear might leave behind? Let's keep our eyes peeled as we look for these bear clues, okay? And it looks like we have a lot of people that joined us late. We have 140 people watching this program. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to my Bear Aware program. I am Jenny. I am here in the mountains of California at a state park called Calaveras Big Trees, known for our giant sequoia, but today we're going on a bear mission to find their clues. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Now I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna switch my camera here. Whoops, don't worry, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm just gonna switch my camera around. There we go. So let's go on a bear mission to find these clues. Now keep your eyes peeled, Junior Ranger Cub and Explorers, because these clues might be in the trees. They might be on the ground. Keep those eyes peeled for bear clues. Oh, wow, a lot of times the trees reveal clues, don't they? I have a clue right here on this tree. Explorers, what does that look like to you? It looks like a bear left behind some fur. Well, bears do this sometimes. They do this mostly in the spring and summer. They go through a process called molting. Can you all say the word molting with me? Molting. Very good. And this is a process where they shed their fur. And they do this sometimes, itching their back on the trees, shed their fur in a process called molting. So this fur, bear fur, this is real. They have very thick, dense fur. Now, what could the fur do for a bear? Their fur, it's very important, right? Protects them, keeps them warm, keeps them protected from the sun, from insects, from moisture. So there we go, we found a clue. The fur, something else we can find on the trees sometimes is bear scratches. They sometimes scratch the trees because they're trying to get at insects that are in the tree. So there we go, explorers. We found one clue. Let's see what else we can find out here. Here we go. We're going down the trail. Let's keep our eyes open. So we found a clue in the trees. Sometimes the clues are on the ground. Everybody seeing a clue over there on the ground? Raise your hand if you can see a clue for me. Raise your hand. Wow, I see a clue right there. It looks like there's a stick. And that stick, hold on. Sorry, everyone. Sometimes a mission gets a little bumpy here. Let's zoom in over here. Wow, look at that. Looks like we found some bear poop. Now, a nicer way to say bear poop, in the way the scientists say it, is the word scat. Everybody, let's say the word scat together. Ready? Scat. There we go. We found some bear scat. And scat looks different. Every animal has their own scat. But it's very easy to tell the bear scat from all the other animals because it's really big. See, it's big. Now that's fake scat. This is made of rubber. But bear scat's normally really big, and scat is a clue for us. It reveals what animal was here. Each animal has their own size and shape scat. And sometimes you can poke it with a stick to see what that animal's been eating. If you poke this scat, and if it were real, you might see a lot of berries in there, or seeds, or shells. Because sometimes the scat is full of things that the animal can't digest. So there we go. We found some bear scat here on the ground. And we're going to keep going with our mission here. Now, let's look here. Let's pull my camera up. All right. So we found some fur. We found some scat. What else is there out here? What else? Okay, here we go. We're walking down the trail. We're walking down the trail. Looks like there's some more clues here on the ground. I see something right here. Do you all see that clue? Oh, wow. Let's zoom in over here and see what it is. What did this bear leave behind? Okay, look at that. Looks like we have a footprint. Yes, and we call footprints in the animal world tracks. And each animal has their own shaped track. Now, a bear track is easy to tell because it's big. It's about the size of my hand. So bear tracks are normally found in the mud or in the snow. One of my favorite things to do is after it snows here, walk the trail to see what animals have been around because they leave behind a lot of tracks. So this track is made of plaster. It's a fake track here. Normally you'd find this imprinted into the ground. So let me pull you all up here. Bear with me, no pun intended. I don't have a camera person. It's just little old me out here. So let me switch my camera angle here. 1 second, bring it back to me here. Let's look closely at this track here. So look how big it is. It's about the size of my hand, isn't it? And bears are a lot like us. They have 5 little toes, don't they? And then they have these claws. And their claws are really long and really sharp. Look at this bear claw I have right here. Wow. It can be about as long as our finger. So explorers, what do we think a bear uses its claws for? What do we think? What does a bear use its claws for? Well, what do we use our fingernails for? Do you think they use their claws to attack us? No, they use their claws as a tool. And their tools, these claws, are used to dig their dens in the ground, right? They use their claws to climb trees. They use their claws to tear up dead trees, logs on the ground, because they like to eat insects that are in there. So those are just some things they use their claws for. So there we go, explorers. We found 3 clues. We found an animal track. We found some scat. And we found some fur on the tree. So we've seen some bear clues. Now, it's fun to observe animals at a distance and look for their clues. I bet you can go outside today in your own neighborhoods and find some clues of animals real easily. Animals are all over, right? And it's good to observe these animals safely at a distance. We have a few rules here at the park that are really important. So, for instance, one of our rules is to stay on the trail. Explorers, why do you think that would be a rule? Why would we want you to stay on the trail? What do you think? Maybe you can share with your neighbor. Why would we want you to do that? We don't want you wandering off into the forest. You can get lost, and your parents would be really sad if that happened. Staying on the trail keeps you safe and our animals safe. These trees and bushes are homes to animals. And when you go walking back there, it disturbs their home. That's not a nice thing to do, is it? There's also a lot of dangerous things here. For instance, we have a lot of insects, bad ones like ticks. And we also have animals here that can be dangerous, animals with venom. Snakes, right? So staying on the trail keeps you safe, keeps our animals safe. So that's one of our rules here. Another rule we have when it comes to animals is not to pet or feed an animal. Now, explorers, why would we ask you to do that? Do you think our animals are like your pets at home? Do you think they're tamed? No, these are all wild animals. They're unpredictable. Sometimes they can bite, and you definitely don't want to pet or feed an animal, even a baby animal. Mostly our animals are shy. They don't really go up to people. They'll run away from you, even a bear. And if you are able to pet or feed an animal, it might be a sick or injured animal. And if that's the case, you want to definitely tell a grown-up and have them tell one of us, one of the people that work here, so we can take care of that animal. So those are just some of our rules when you come here regarding our animals. But it's fun to look for their clues, isn't it? Sometimes you only get to see their clues. Alrighty, explorers, well, we're getting to the next phase of our adventure today. Hope you all are having fun. So now let's look at some pictures of bears and talk about their 5 senses, because we just use a few of our senses on our little clue finding mission. So I'm going to show you a picture, one of my favorite pictures of a bear. Now, this is a funny picture I found on the internet. You definitely don't want to get this close to a bear. Someone must have taken this picture of a bear in a zoo. So bears are actually a lot like us. They have the same features, and they use their same 5 senses in the way that we do. Let's look at those eyes. Everybody, give me your bear eyes. Give me your bear eyes. Their eyes are just like us. They're on the front of their head, and they're small. And they use their eyes to find things, just like us. And they can see really good. They can even see in the dark. They're not the best at seeing long distances, so sometimes you might see a bear standing up on its hind legs, and they're just trying to get more information. They're trying to see better. All right, now look at that nose. Everybody, let's wiggle our noses. Wiggle our noses. Now, bears have a very, very good sense of smell. They can smell just about as well as a dog can. Very good sense of smell. Their sense of smell leads them to their favorite sense of all, and that's their sense of taste. Being able to smell things leads them to the food. And look at that tongue. Their tongue, everybody, let's stick out our tongues. Their tongues are a lot longer than ours. They could be 6 inches long. And they use that tongue as a tool, just like they use their claws. They use that tongue to get inside dead logs, to get inside beehives and lick up all the bees and the honey. So that tongue is a tool for them. So it's extra, extra long. And let's look at their ears. Look at this black bear. Now, everybody, give me your bear ears. Give me your bear ears. Now, they have a really good sense of hearing, too. And they use their ears to alert them of danger. Yeah. And another thing I want to show you about their sense of taste is their teeth. Now, check out this bear skull. Now, bears have 42 teeth. We have 32. So they're a lot similar. And they have these sharp front teeth. They use this sometimes as a tool too. And the bulk of a bear's diet is mostly plants. Surprisingly, they don't like to eat that much meat, although they can if they wanted to. But they mostly like berries and plants, and what they eat depends on the season. So they have the proper teeth to eat just about anything, and they do. They eat everything, even garbage. So bears have very strong teeth, but they're not going to use these teeth to attack us or bite us. They're more scared of us than we are of them, believe it or not. So yeah, the bears have a very varied diet, just like us. They eat meat and plants. So we're very similar to bears, aren't we? And bears love to climb trees. So their sense of touch, their claws, they use to climb those trees. So there we go, they're 5 senses. And they're a lot similar to us, aren't they? All right, explorers, well, we have the final big finale here on our little adventure, and it's time for a story. Now, who likes stories? Raise your hand for me if you like stories. Yay, look at all those hands going up. Well, this story is important because it's all about bear safety. And it's a fun story, don't worry. I would never read a bad story to you. So this one's called If You Were a Bear. And it's written by Rachel Mazur and illustrated by Serena Jepson. We were a bear. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Imagine that you fell asleep, a person tucked in bed, but woke up in the morning as a black bear cub instead. What would you eat? Where would you sleep? How would you spend your day? How long would your claws be? How much would you weigh? Would you wear shoes, a shirt, a hat, or purple underwear? How would your days be different if you became a bear? You'd start your life in winter, snuggled deep inside a den, born smaller than a football, with a sibling for a friend. Aww. Inside the den, you drink mom's milk to quickly grow in size. You'd soon have fur, strong teeth and claws, and open up your eyes. You'd find your fur might not be black. It could be blonde or brown. You'd test your little padded paws to softly move around. Then once the days got warmer and your mom was in the mood, she'd lead the family from the den and start to look for food. Ooh. In springtime, you would eat new grass and roots and tasty plants. In summer, you might eat your fill of berries, fish, and ants. Yum! Some days you look for honey, probing beehives with your tongue. Something so sweet must be a treat, 'cause likely you'd get stung. With teeth and claws, you tear up logs to find the ants inside. And as they run, you use your tongue to eat them before they hide. Your sense of smell would serve you well to find delicious meats. Your sense of sight would guide you right to other tasty treats. And when you were not eating, you'd have lots of time to play, to climb and run, to just have fun. Or nap the day away. Aw, sleeping. Your days would have adventure and you'd safely wander free, but when your mom would sound alarm, you'd scramble up a tree. And as you grew, you'd learn to tell the safe things from the dangers. You'd stand up tall and sniff the air to learn of coming strangers. When autumn came, you'd spend your days up climbing in the trees and eating crunchy acorns till the ground began to freeze. Your mom would then prepare a den as snow began to fall. You'd snuggle in to sleep for months and would not eat at all. This is the way things rightly go when bears are wild and free. But when things go wrong, when food's left out by folks like you and me, now food can mean an ice cream cone, or seed meant for the birds, or scraps of meat left on a grill, or garbage by the curb. Ew. A curious bear will follow its nose to find these yummy kibbles, then quietly sneak on padded paws and snatch a bite to nibble. Ooh, watermelon and corn. And once a bear tastes human food that's rich in calories, it finds new ways to grab some more without a thanks or please. And claws that once were used on logs are used to open sheds, and teeth that once bit open fruits bite open cans instead. And though at first it's funny watching bears sneak past your lawn, broken sheds cost money, and then people want bears gone. So do your part to keep bears wild by guarding food and trash. Clean your grill, feed pets indoors, and close the window sash. Look at those kitties eating. For bears that don't eat human food, stay wild and safe and free. How fun to be a little bear up climbing in a tree. Wow, it sounds like if we were bears, we would love to eat, huh? But does it sound like bears want to eat us? No, they like to eat everything but us, it sounds like. So tell me, explorers, if you were to come here to Calaveras Big Trees, or if you were to go to another park that has black bears, how can you possibly keep them safe? What can we do? What do you think? Well, we learned how powerful their sense of smell is, right? It leads them to tasty treats. So maybe we need to be very careful about our garbage. We have special dumpsters here and garbage cans that are bear proof. They can't get inside. So you want to keep your trash in one of those. Our campsites have lockers in them, so you can lock up all your scented items when you leave your campsite. So those are two things we can do, is to make sure our food and scented items aren't accessible to a bear, because they're going to eat just about anything that smells good. So that's something we can do to keep our bears safe. So what happens if we see a bear, explorers? What do we do? What do you think? Do you think we play dead? Do you think we run away? What do you think? Well, here's what happens when you see a bear. If you see a grizzly, you might have to play dead, but not a black bear. Playing dead for a black bear isn't really going to do any good. We're just going to be like, what are you doing? Laying there on the ground. Black bears and grizzlies are two different bears. So black bears, what do we do if we see a black bear? Well, I will tell you that the most exciting day ever for me was seeing my first bear. It made my heart go pitter patter. Real pitter patter. I got a little nervous, and she had 3 cubs with her. So I knew I had to keep a safe distance. Safe distances are far for a bear, like this. You want to stay very far away from that bear, back away slowly, make lots of noise, say, hello bear, and back away slowly. That bear does not want you to be a threat or hurt her cubs. So that's something you can do, is keep a very safe distance, because if they feel threatened, they will make a bluff charge. And a bluff charge is a fake attack. They might run at you and make a little huffing noise. That happened to one of our visitors here. He was trying to get up close and get his picture. That's something you don't want to do. You want to give them a safe space, safe distance, make lots of noise. So in most cases, the bear is not going to attack. They're not interested in us. Believe it or not, they're more scared of us than we are of them. So we learned a lot today on our little adventure, didn't we? We learned the safety, what we can do if we see a bear, how we can protect our bears here by keeping our scented items in their proper places, like the trash can or the bear lockers. Before that, we heard a very important story about bear safety, what happens when they get a hold of human food. They have very good sense of memory, and they know where the food is. Food is their primary objective in life, their mission, their purpose. Their main occupation is eating. That's all bears like to do. So we need to do our part to keep them safe, right? And then before that, we went on a little clue finding mission, didn't we? We found some clues here that a bear was here. We saw some fur on the tree. We saw their tracks. And then we also saw their scat. So now, explorers, when you go out into the forest or your neighborhood, you can look for your own animal clues. So thank you everyone for joining me today at Calaveras Big Tree State Park for our Junior Ranger Cub program. And if you're trying to earn your prizes, make sure you go into the internet browser. A little survey popped up, and you got to give us your information so we can get you on our list to get the prizes. The more programs you attend, the more prizes you can get. And we do these programs Tuesday and Thursday, 9 in the morning and 10:30. So sign up for free, ports-ca.us. And if there's any questions about this program or about Calaveras Big Trees, let me know. Find Calaveras Big Trees on Facebook and send us a message. I read all the messages. So you can ask me anything. No questions too small, anything. Send it on the Facebook Messenger. All right, explorers, we'll have a safe summer. And if you're going to come here to the park or any state parks, remember to do your research before you go and travel, because our park rules are changing all the time. Make sure if you're heading out to bring your masks. Keep your 6 feet of distance. Bring your own hand sani. And travel safe this summer. Stay healthy and safe. And thanks for coming today to Calaveras Big Trees. Bye, Junior Ranger Cubs. Thanks for coming. If you have any questions, remember, find me on Facebook, Calaveras Big Trees. Bye, everyone.